What's up, everyone? It's Words,
And it's Grim here.
and today we're gonna give our quick thoughts on the latest Jordan Peele film, Nope, that has a lot of people excited, a lot of people saying it's the best movie of the year, but we will give our quick thoughts on it and just explain how we feel about the film. So we did actually watch this film about a week or two ago. Um, we did have some trouble recording it, so we're gonna just re-record that now and just share our thoughts on the film. Um, do you want to go first, or I'll go first? It's up to you.
I'll go first because I was a bit more positive about the film than you were. You were a bit more, on the dour side about it. But overall, neither of us don't hate the film, right?
No.
I'm a bit nicer to it than Words here, right? Even because I'll be fair, like I saw a part. I've seen some of Get Out, and I've actually never saw Us, if I remember correctly, was the name of the other Jordan Peele film he made. It's the other film he made. I don't. So, you know. And mind you, Words here comes back from a film background. I come from a not so film background. So you're going to see two different takes here. But when it comes to my personal thoughts on the film, overall, I think it was a decent film. It's a little slow. Well, actually, it's not just a little slow. It's quite slow, honest to God. Like for a film that's like what, under 2 hours? Isn't it like 2 hours? Wasn't it
It
like
was
2 hours?
about 2 hours exact.
For 2 hours, I thought this thing was realistically like maybe I thought it was like 2.5. It felt like 2.5 to maybe even pushing 3 hours at times, right? It had that kind of slowness to it. I get why they did it because they tried to get you attached to some of the characters that were introduced, which is the brother sister that we got to meet, and some of the other characters that were introduced throughout. But the pacing was slow at times, and as most people predict it's a sci-fi film. It has that kind of alien moment. It's not like a secret. Um, we won't spoil the twist, mostly because I'm sure there's still some people who haven't seen it and probably are interested in seeing it. It's an interesting twist, at least to me. I mean, it's not the most like groundbreaking, or it's just something different than what I was expecting, right? And the film does this like thing of trying to make you look in a different direction and making you think, you're gonna get your bog standard aliens, on Earth kind of vibe, and then turns out to be something a little different than what we were expecting. Um, you know, the now I will say this much. I don't, like I said, I am not too familiar with Jordan Peele as a director and his style. What I will say is that there was a moment, the opening. While we won't say what the opening is, or unless you want to bring it up, Words. I don't know.
No, we don't. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything, so just in case
So
people actually want to watch it.
yeah, so the opening for me, if it wasn't for Words here pointing out the connection between one of the characters and the opening, I would have, honest to God, thought the opening was pointless and almost felt way too disconnected from the plot. Like, it kind of had no impact other than if Words hadn't pointed out the connection between one of the characters and, the opening. But, I think this film, tries to be different and tries to be refreshing, try something, a new take on this type of, genre of like, small town, quote unquote aliens come in and are here kind of thing. Um, but I felt like the slowness is what killed it for me in a lot of ways. Is while I still don't mind it. This is not a film I would go back and watch like the next day or like another weekend. Like this is kind of a film I'd watch once in theaters, and if it pops up on television in like a year from now, I might be willing to watch it then. But this is not a film I'm not going to go out and watch again. It's a once, because by the end of it, I don't even know the actual names of the characters. Honest to God. Do you remember the name words? Because I don't remember any of their fucking names.
I remember some of their names. But, I mean, I didn't even remember. By the end of us watching it, I didn't even remember most of the people's names.
Right,
I did
and that's
some quick research after, and that's kind of how I remember them. But that's like during the movie, I completely zoned out on that.
Right. So, like I said, for me, if you're interested in saying this, like I said, I say it's not a bad film to see on like a Friday or Saturday night with some people. You might get some interesting responses from people if you're going in a group, especially because I imagine not everyone's going to agree on this film being, how shall we say, groundbreaking or anything like that. I definitely do think the slowness the pace of it's definitely going to be a big criticism of this film, and it's a big criticism for me. But like I said, I like it overall, so that's what I think. What about you, Words? What do you think about this film?
So, I will give my quick thoughts on Jordan Peele as a whole, his whole career, his current film career, and TV kind of career. So, I remember Jordan Peele from Key and Peele, right? Like, we used to always watch Key and Peele a lot back in the day. I watched Get Out. I thought it was an amazing film. It was one of the best films of the year that it came out. But ever since that, I swear, like, I just think that Jordan Peele has fallen off a cliff with his writing, with his directing, with all of the things that he's done, with all the projects he's done. Us was really bad. Had a really bad twist. The Twilight Zone remake that he did is pretty bad. And, I'm gonna blame him for Candyman. People might not blame him for Candyman. He was a writer for Candyman. He was a producer for Candyman. He gets blamed for that, in my honest opinion, because he's technically the one writing the main story for the film, right? So that maybe this is a bias against him, just because I haven't seen anything good since Get Out from him. But I thought the film was very weak, and I have a film background, obviously, so I kind of have a little bit more, I guess, collected thoughts on this, and I can criticize a little bit at a more technical level, but I just think that the film, again, he Grim just kind of touched on pretty much all of it. The pacing is really horrible for the first two acts of the film, and then you finally get to the third act, and the pace just picks up, like, out of nowhere, so it completely confuses people who are in the audience. I've seen a lot of people saying this is the best film of the year so far. I don't know how anyone can say that, though, because I thought that, and I mean, anybody can say otherwise, but I think Top Gun was probably the best film this year that I've watched. I haven't really watched a lot of films this year. I haven't really cared as much this year about any of the films coming out. I thought Top Gun was really amazing, was really fun. It was a summer blockbuster that really went back to its roots, to the original Top Gun. I thought that it was just an amazing film, right? So when you pitting those two against each other, because they came out in the same time period of the year, a lot of people were saying one or the other the best films of this year. That's so far. I don't know how you can even compare the two, honestly, because this film was extremely slow. It was completely boring. The characters were forgettable. Again, I had to do research just to remember, like, the characters: OJ, M, Daniel Kaluuya, and Keke Palmer, who were the brother and sister in the film. I don't even remember the name of the cameraman.
Oh yeah, the tech guy.
The cinematographer. I don't remember the tech guy's name either. And they're like two of the other main characters in the film, right? So I don't even remember any of the characters. They're not memorable at all. I do understand why he did do a slow approach in the first two acts. The problem is that the characters were not likable, really. They weren't likable. They weren't really memorable. I just remember being very annoyed by Keke Palmer's character the entire way, which I think was the point of her character, obviously written that way, but it was just very annoying after a while. It gets kind of old, and you kind of just say, okay, this is kind of annoying, and I don't really want to watch this anymore. I did like the twist in the film. I think that the twist in the film was really good. I think the last act was really good. I'm not gonna talk shit about the acting because I think the acting was excellent. I just don't remember the characters and don't really care about the characters at all. And I mean, it's an average film. I wouldn't say it's great at all. Like, I think a lot of people overrated this film so far. I see a lot of people saying the best film of the year. I don't know how that's possible. I feel like that's also maybe a Jordan Peele bias from some people that just think that everything he's put out has been really good. When, again, Get Out is probably the best thing that he's put out. That and Key and Peele, I mean, that's the best two things that he's ever worked on. Everything else, Us, Twilight Zone, Candyman, like I said, this film, we're up against Get Out, are really bad, and that's not a good thing. Like, you shouldn't show up with your best act right away, right? Like, that's not what a magician does. He doesn't show you his best trick right away, right? And I think that's the issue with Jordan Peele so far, is that he's showed us his first film is his best film. He's probably never gonna make anything better than it. But I guess you could say that about a lot of directors. Like George Lucas is probably one of them as well. But yeah, I just think that this film was forgettable. Outside of the twist, like I said, the final act was fun. It just was very confusing. Would probably confuse a lot of people that don't actually watch films and understand them on a deep level, that don't actually try to criticize them and understand them completely, like someone who is a film critic or somebody who actually does filmmaking as a career or has a background like that. Like me, like I want to know what's going on with the story. Like, even I was confused. So if I'm confused, I don't think the average film goer would be very what's the word? I don't think they would understand the story at all from that point of view either. I feel like they would be very bored and just say, hey, this is all over the place and not a good thing. But yeah, I just like I said, I think Jordan Peele, you could call it a bias. I just think he hasn't made anything great since Get Out, but that's just my personal opinions. I just think this film was average, and it's definitely not better than Top Gun Maverick. I will say that, just in reply to a lot of people saying it's the best film of the year.
Yeah, because I think given the mediocrity, in all fairness, that we've seen over the past couple of years, it's led to a lot of people looking at, for example, recent Marvel films and recent just films in general, going, this is the best thing ever. And I go, I mean, not really. I mean, Top Gun Maverick, I mean, like I said, I agree with that. I think it's probably going to win. It's probably going to be the film of the year for a lot of people. And so, and as I pointed out earlier, I don't have any background in film. I don't go into the technical details of that kind of stuff. So for me, even I was looking at this film and I went, okay, I can see what he's trying to do, but even I was like, it's still not done all that well. Or at the very least, it's not up to the, how shall we say, like the level that people were hyping it up to be. Because when you see all these people going, critics going, it's the best film of the year, and I go, it's better than anything, I go, when you watch it, it feels like a slogfest, right?
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing, I still like the film overall. I don't think it's anything awful, and I don't think it's anything great. I think it's just an average film that has the interesting twist on the whole alien visiting Earth genre as a whole, right?
Yeah. It was a great thriller from that point of view. Like, it has a really great twist that takes a trope that we've seen so many times in Hollywood and like flips it on its head. Like, that's awesome. Like, I commend him for that. I just think that the writing was not there for this film. The pacing was not there for this film. He had the acting, he had the twist, he had the last act. I feel like maybe he did like planned all that part of it out and just like completely did not give a fuck about the writing portion of it. Cause I don't know how you get the first two acts of the film with the last act of the film. That's just my thing. And I mean, would I watch it again? Probably not. I probably haven't even watched Get Out really much. I probably watched Get Out one more time since I watched it the first time, but I probably will not be rewatching this film. I think it's okay to go out and watch it with your friends real quick for a quick weekend watch or a Friday night watch or Saturday night watch, whatever you want to do at the theater. But after that, I don't think many people are going to come back and watch the film, to be honest. Especially, normal people that are average film goers that probably don't understand the film and its plot line.
You're just looking for a quick fun, kill a couple hours with some people and that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's how we did it anyway. I felt like that's what it was anyway when we watched it. But once I get into that movie, I'm locked into the film and trying to figure out what's going on and all that kind of stuff. Even if that is the case, like, hey, I'm just hanging out with my friends, But
right.
But for most people, they would probably just say, hey, it's an average film to go watch with your friends real quick and then hang out. You're not probably really it's turn your brain off type of film, honestly. But yeah.
But this leads to the big question: is for those 5 of you who will be watching this video, would we recommend you watch this film in any capacity? Me personally, I would say this much: as a kind of more normie in the sense of not really understanding, films that deeply or never having the biggest interest in that kind of stuff, contrary to my other stuff on this channel. But I would say, like I said earlier, if you're looking for a Friday or Saturday night to kill and you have a couple people who are willing to go with you, it's probably more fun in a group than it is as an individual. That's my personal opinion. I think if you go by yourself to watch this film, I genuinely think you're going to be bored. I actually think even with the twist, I think you'd be bored because we had more fun when we had the twist happen and it was, all us 3 in the theater.
Yeah.
Right? And we were all kind of like,
And being able to talk about it after too.
Yeah.
Adds to that.
So like I said, that my recommendation is if you got you got a night to kill, Nope isn't a bad way to spend it. Would I tell you to watch it afterwards again? Not really. What about you, Words? Would you recommend anybody to watch this film?
I'm not going to recommend anybody not watch the film. That's everything is subjective, obviously, to everybody. I would just say, hey, don't go into the expectations of what people have been saying, that it's the best film ever, or the best film of the year. Because that's the thing that I was going in, like, hey, people are saying that. It sounds like it might be a good film. Just because it's a Jordan Peele film and he has that potential, right? But I'm not gonna say, hey, don't go watch this film. I think that especially if you're in a group, go ahead and watch it. It's fun to kill a night real quick, with your friends and just turn your brains off and then being able to discuss it later on. That was the best part for me, was being able to discuss the film afterwards with friends. If you're gonna go watch the film by yourself, you're probably gonna be bored as fuck. But hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not gonna stop anybody from watching the film. Just don't go in with high expectations. That's all I say.
So, other than that, those are basically my thoughts on the film, from my perspective anyway. Words, you got any more thoughts on the film, or you got out what you needed?
I think that's all you both have, to be honest with you. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to go too in depth with the film or spoil it or anything. That's
yeah.
We'll let everyone else decide for themselves. That's how we should do it.
Yeah.
Right. We're just sharing our thoughts, even if they don't really mean much.
Very much so. Now, most people do a rating or anything like that. For me, I've never cared much about ratings or anything like that in any capacity because, look, man, Rotten Tomatoes proven, hey, look, man, giving a score to stuff kind of is pointless sometimes. Because, look, man, sometimes the audience is right, sometimes the audience is wrong, sometimes the critics are wrong, and other times the critics are maybe wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty much. If I had to give it a score, though, I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5.5 out of 10. It's very average, below average film, but that doesn't mean shit, because again, like, other people can think what they want to think about the film, and that's okay. We respect other people's opinions around here, so.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're saying ladies because we do have female viewers, allegedly.
Yeah. That's what allegedly we do. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. That about wraps up our video here. You know, our thoughts on Nope. This came out a little later than we would have liked, but we managed to get this out. We managed to get our thoughts out on this movie, and we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share it with other people. You know, if you have friends, that's a thing. You know, talking about videos that you watch. You know, Words, you got anything coming up in the pipe works that you want to bring up?
You know, I'm gonna be working on a few video essays similar to my counterpart here in the video. He dropped a Halo video, obviously. So we gotta top that, right? I'm gonna drop some Star Wars related videos. I want to do some gaming as well. I didn't really get to talk a lot about that just yet, but you know, we're gonna be trying to upload a lot more often, all of us in general. But I'm gonna be trying to put more stuff up too as well. You know, video essays, not all the time. You know, that's a lot of work. You don't want to always put that kind of stuff up. But a lot of gaming too. We're gonna probably do some GTA related stuff, some other games that I play. You know, so yeah, you know, just watch out for that kind of stuff. Watch everything else that's on our channel. I think everything is really good quality.
And you get very different games and perspectives. I will say that much.
You get different perspective from every single one of us. So that's the best part about it.
And as for me, ladies and gentlemen, I do have another review in the works. I recently posted a review on the anime Bastard. A shock that I'm still amazed Netflix allowed that thing to be posted on their site. Or their service, I should say. But I do have another video in the works. I will be reviewing The Terminal List, starring Chris Pratt. So watch out for that video. That video will probably be uploaded at some point this week. Yeah, and I do have another big video essay. I don't like calling them video essays. Another big video similar to the Halo one in the works. I won't be spoiling it. I want to keep it a surprise for when it does come out. If anybody is curious about when that might come out, I can't give you a time date. It might come out towards the end of this month. As much as Word said, we do want to upload a lot more often, you know, but all of us do have responsibilities in real life to handle. So that's what's holding us back, but we will try our best to, handle our personal shit while also handling stuff on the channel.
Yep, pretty much. That's the best way that's the best that we can do, honestly.
Yeah, and we're looking forward. We're very excited. You know, we're almost at 100 subscribers.
Subs.
That's fucking crazy to me, right?
I think if we do 100 subs, we should do something special actually. Just because that's actually pretty awesome to actually get to that point. We only started, we're only like a month, 2 months old at this point, so that's pretty actually amazing, to be honest. So
we've gone on long enough, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you have probably already clicked off the video, but
it is.
It
is what it is.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Right. We wish you a good day, night, morning, wherever the hell you live. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Peace out, everyone.